Hello, and this is our 6th video in our series. This, I think we finished off with making this foot. So I've just done a Shift D there. Let me turn on some screencasting keys. Here we go. Add-ons and screencast. There we go. And fine. Now it's going to go save as, and we'll call this stage 4, just so we have all the stages. Now, the only real thing, I have a couple of little things to do. I'm going to put weights up here. So I'm going to take this guy here and Shift D out there. Now to edit mode, GX, and here, just going to position this by I, so roughly there, that's fine. Not perfect, but it will do. And what we want to do with this is make some sort of weight carrying apparatus. And then we might put a couple of, we'll do some detail on the body, maybe add some lights. So weight carrying apparatus, so let's go do that. So first things first, let's move this in. So on the x-axis. The same over here. Okay. So again, that's just a bit of detail, not really important. We'll get to detail later. Okay, so that's our, gonna make some sort of mechano pin. Just for reference, this is a slightly different color to this. If we look at materials, neither of them have a material. The reason that's a different color is the normals are inverted. We're all pointing in, so Control N, and did nothing. No. So mesh normals, flip normals. Oh, no, they were turned the right way. Oh, alright, this is dark. Must be the ambient occlusion. Oh, okay. Pay no attention to me. Alright, so we want to create something not dissimilar to this, only without a gun. We want some weights. So again, let's duplicate this and move it up here, and just by I, I'm going to go SX and scale it. Oops, I should have done, yeah. Now I'm going to do this in, oops. There we go. I'm going to start working on this in edit mode, because otherwise I won't preserve the mirror modifier. So select it all, SX. Now it's not too badly positioned actually. Now what we want is delete that and that. And then join these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, W, bridge edge loop, and from there I can go S, and now we've got something to work with. Okay, so how do we want this to work? We want it to be like a counterweight for the leg. It's not going to actually be a counterweight or have any physical properties. It's just if when the leg pivots around here, it looks like something is pulling it down. So how do we do that? So basically it has to be some sort of kind of sled, or you'll see what I mean now. So extrude this in, and let's go F, go face select. Now now I don't want any. Okay, so GX. Okay, so it's going to be like a shelf. So I'm going to extrude it forwards. Okay, so that's going to be our shelf. Oops, what happened there? There we go. Went too far forward. And lower it down a bit, and now we need to put something in it. So I'm going to add a cube. Where's my cube? There it is. And again we'll exploit, so cursor to selected, object transform origin to 3D cursor, and then come over here and make mirror modifier, and we'll move this guy up, go into edit mode, scale, and then we'll just do this again by eye. So is X, and so that looks about right there. Here, Shift D, as if it were. Actually, before we do that, let's show you guys how to cut holes and things using Boolean operations. So I'm going to click here and go add cylinder or Y90, scale it down. Actually, right, delete that, let's start again. So I'm going to add a cylinder, but I'm going to reduce its vert count to 12 because we don't want too many verts, or Y90, and find out where that is. Okay, so there it is there. So GX. Now what's important in this is that these are two separate objects. Okay, and I'm gonna name these. I'm gonna call this a hole because that's what it's gonna be. I'm gonna call this weight. Now we have to rename everything, but for now that'll do. So I'm gonna take the mirror modifier in this and apply it. Actually, no, I don't do that. I won't apply it just yet. Let me remove it. I can add it in again. So I'm going to add in a Boolean modifier, and the object I want is the hole. Now, the way this works is it creates a new object at the intersection, so where the two of them meet, the union, which is both of them together, or the difference, which is what I want. And apply. And what I should get is one subtracted from the other. Now I can get rid of that. I don't need it. So that's my object with a hole cut in it. It's not the best way to do things. You end up with, you don't get to decide how this geometry is made. Sometimes that looks okay there. It's a little strange. This is a very strange face. So it's not the best technique in the world because you have no control over how the Boolean modifier will be implemented in your geometry. So I don't use it very often, but one you should know how to do. So let's go back and add the mirror modifier. So now I've got one on either side, and what we can do is go to edit mode, Shift D, Shift D. Okay. Now we'll end up giving them a different texture to everything else. Now, so we're not far from being finished here. I'm just going to save this. So what else are we going to do? We're going to add a light or two to illuminate our Mech's path. So again, back to our trusty cube. G, move it up here, and scale it. Scale it on Y. Bring it down. Now, all I'm looking for here really is like a panel light. So the level of detail is quite low. They normally have some sort of back in them, and I'm going to make this sort of like a widescreen TV. Okay. And the only thing I don't like about that is how wide it is. So I may not be able to do it this way. There we go. Now, so I can just place that. Now it's too close to the width of the top of the and just going to put a base on it. This looks a little kind of convenient just sitting there. That's the face I want. So scale it up. Yeah. There we go. Now what we'll probably do is make it a tiny bit more complex. We'll select this, cursor just selected, add cylinder, 12 is loads, rotate it on Y, scale it down. I'm going to like make it look like there's a hinge. In fact, we'll cut that there. Okay, I'm just going to hide that, and then I'm going to select that and go V, which is to cut, and then press L to select all verts, and then select this, which is a 3D cursor, so rotate around this. I can rotate this that way. Alt H is unhide, and now something that looks a little more complex, and also will give me a better result in terms of shining light. Now I'm going to take that and go Shift D, G, X, sorry, that's a Z, and rotate it 180 degrees. Don't do that, I need to change it back to original line. So now rotate it 180 degrees, and bring that to there. I'm going to add a mirror modifier, and now I've got two of them. do any difference with these ones is, so I'll select here, Shift S, cursor to selected, rotate around cursor, L to select links, and rotate this back so that it's again shining towards the ground. GY, bring it forward. So now I've got, panel lights on my mech, and select the body and a bit more detail. So we've got kind of ribbing here. I'll go to face select. Now remember we've got a mirror modifier on, so whoops. So E, individual origins, there we go. S, E, so it's going to make some panels. Make it look a little bit more complex. Now with this one, oh yeah, I'm going to rotate it a bit, so I'm going to go G, X, and or X. Oh, wrong one, or Y. Again, just trying to create complexity where there is none. And with this, kind of do the opposite. Almost make it look like there's some sort of armor. And these are just extrusions, and then a very minor scaling to kind of make it look like there's more to it than there is, which is what a lot of mechs would have in game engines. This sort of detail can be baked in as well. We'll look at that another day. Okay, so that's good enough for me. The only other thing we've left to do is, well, we kind of need to fix the back of this, but what I want to do is add in a little bit of glass to it. So if I've no pilot, I can have frosted glass and not have to worry about having an animated pilot inside it. So how do I do that? Well, I'm going to edit mode, and what we want to do is basically loop select the inside of all of these. So we've basically got the whole edge of the window. We need to do that for each window, keeping in mind there is a mirror modifier, so we need to do one side. So the only minor problem is I may start filling in faces, so I'm going to select that one. You can go Shift D to duplicate, and then P, separate by selection. So now I have my glass here, or at least I have the circumference of the edge of that piece. So I'm going to have to go in and do that again for all of the windows. So a bit time consuming, but definitely worth it. Otherwise we'll end up having to put in a pilot, which I don't mind putting in, but if it's a mech game, then we don't really need to do that. So again, just make sure I've got it all done. And I have these two, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more to do. So you make yourself a cup of tea. And you'll notice I'm doing all the inside ones, because if there's any missing pieces, then I can kind of scale them up, or I can hide. It's easier to hide any errors if the glass is on the inside of the kind of metal cage that we've made. Now we get this one. Okay, so that's a more difficult piece there to do. Shift D, P, separate by selection. And nearly there. So there, and there. And there. Shift D, P, separate by selection. Shift D, separate by selection, and the last one. Shift D, separate by selection. Okay, now what I'm going to do is take this cage and press H to hide. And now I've got my panes basically. So I'm going to take all of this and hide it just to get it out of the way. Work on this, so I'm going to select all and press face and see what I get. Not great. I take the subdivision surface modifier off it. It's still not fantastic for a piece of glass. Now we also have minor issues with normals. We want all of the normals facing in one direction. And this is called an n-gon, so it's a polygon, and n is the number of vertices that it has. Let's see how that looks before I start changing things. So I'm just going to select them all and hit F. And let's see what sort of faces we get. Again, that's a normal issue. Mesh, normals, flip normals. Same with this one. Mesh, normals, flip normals. And then this one. Now we have two more up here. Okay, now Alt-H, unhide everything. Yeah, we can live with that. So again, because it's on the inside, if it's a wee bit small, now keep in mind where its origin is. So I'm gonna, when I scale it, it's gonna scale outwards like that. So they're a bit tricky to, if I change the, they're easier to scale in edit mode. So that's a wee bit better. Same with this one. So I'm just making, oops. And yeah, be careful not to do it too much, and you get undesirable results. And eventually we'll make all of this, all of the glass will be a single object and share one material. Okay, let me do the same here, so scale. So you can see it's a bit time consuming, a bit tricky to do, and it's far from perfect, even as it is there. However, it gives us a mech. Okay, so we have file save. So I'm going to finish modeling like that. We could keep modeling this forever and put loads more detail on it, and we should, but yeah, we have a race against time. So we'll add some more detail later after we've so the next tutorial we'll colour it in, and the one after that we will rig it, put in a skeleton and make it walk, animate it. Okay, so finished with modelling.